Welcome to Embracing Infinity, exploring the infinite oneness in the space of love and truth. Host Jennifer Rose is an international spiritual medium, healer, channeler, mentor, and transformational guide. Her focus is encouraging individuals to know themselves within the lens of their divine heart and highest potential, to evolve within the frequency of love and peaceful harmony. Now, here's your host, Jennifer Rose.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Embracing Infinity on the Sacred Spiral Network. I'm Jennifer Rose, and happy Friday to everybody. I hope you are all doing well and looking forward to a fun, happy, and peaceful weekend ahead. A special announcement. This is the 1-year anniversary of Embracing Infinity. We started a year ago today. So super excited, feeling very nostalgic, very grateful and very blessed for all the wonderful guests we've gotten to meet and get to know, and for all of you who have been so supportive this past year. So I want to give a big thank you to me from my heart and send all my love out to each and every one of you. So it's a very happy day. It's a very, very happy day today. So thank you all for being here today. And I'm very excited to have our special guest, Raven Adams, joining me here today. We have a really fun discussion plan, and we'll be doing some messages as well. So come in and enjoy the experiencing the adventure that we're all about to have together with that too. I have a few quick announcements, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Everybody, please join us at 2:30 Pacific for the Psychic Hour and 4:30 Pacific for Spiritually Imperfect, the Psychic Hour with Kelly Brickle, and Spiritually Imperfect with Michael Christopher and Jennifer Lee. So it's a whole day of Sacred Spiral Network fun shows today. So looking forward to having you all on board for that. This coming Sunday, my beautiful friends, I am hosting my Sunday spiritual service for the Love of Spirit, online Sunday spiritual service. And our guest medium is going to be Shannon Rattay joining us. And she also is an angel messenger. Many of you know her. We do the messages from the Enchanted Realms once a month together too. So she will be doing messages from loved ones and angels, and has a beautiful sharing her angelic transmission with everybody as well too. That's this coming Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. in the UK, and you can sign up to receive the Zoom link at mediumjenniferrose.com. It's free or donation, and the donations, portion of them will be going to the Gabby Petito Foundation in support of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In addition, the Gabby Petito Foundation has teamed up with Edify Your Soul magazine, which was created by Laurie Smith, which I am also a contributing writer to. And we're going on our 3rd edition. And on April 15th, there will be a video interview embedded in the magazine with Gabby Petito's 2 moms. So that's going to be very, very special. And so this is really a beautiful month of supporting them, because they are turning a tragic thing into something very beautiful, and having her spirit really help humanity and helping us all to grow and change and move forward. So a lot of beautiful things coming up, and it's a beautiful month of April, everybody. It's a very transformative month. We're coming into some holidays. We're moving into a new season. So happy April, happy spring again. And just remember, we're continuing to bloom and blossom too. So this is kind of a time where we're starting to kind of like push through the soil and, welcome the sunshine. And with that, there can be some growing pains as we pop out of seeds and push through soil. But the rewards are always watching yourself blossom and feeling the light upon you, and the sensation of the dewdrops and the loving gaze, as we are all like flowers in a garden. So I hope you're all managing that well, everybody too. And if not, just, hold yourselves in grace, allow that grace to move through you, because with each step that you walk with it, it holds your hand. So I will leave you with that. And I want to say hello to everybody who's joined us here today get caught up. Hello, Miss Nancy. How are you? Beautiful. And Nancy is part of Team Angel on For the Love of Spirit with Fran Pierce and our producer, Kelly Brickle. Shout out to Kelly Brickle. She takes care of us, our producer. Hello, Miss Lynn Juno. How are you? I love the rainbow and the sunshine. How are you? Beautiful. Thank you for being here. Hi, Lois. Hello. How are you? Happy Friday. Good to see you. Yay. I know we're very excited. And we've got our girl Shannon joining us too. So it's gonna be a really beautiful Sunday service. So you don't want to miss it if you're able to join us as well. Hi, Jessie Cat Scissorhands. Thank you. Thank you. I so appreciate that. It's a fun day. Hi, Jennifer. How are you? How's our girl Jennifer? Hi, Bree. How are you? Good evening to you as well. Hi, Jack Handel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Happy Friday. And I hope you're doing well as well. Thank you for being here. And I saw Michael Christopher in the house. I want to give you a shout out and congratulations on your show as well. Hi, Mara. How are you? Thank you for being here today. Really welcome. Welcome. Happy Friday. And your birthday's this month. Are you Aries, Jennifer? Yeah, the perfect time for all this fire that we have. Oh my gosh. Hi to Tracy McGinley as well. Hello, Minty May. I know you're here on supporting your girl Raven. Good to see you, Minty. Thanks for being here today. Hi, Christine. Hello. Happy Friday to you. Thanks, Tracy, so much. Happy to see you. Hi, Elaine. Good to see you. Everybody, Miss Elaine Staten is an excellent medium over in the UK, and she's going to be my guest next Friday. So you don't want to miss that as well. Please mark your calendars. She's fabulous. She was on For the Love of Spirit, and she's a regular demonstrator for the spiritualist churches and helps over at Fulham as well, running their development circle. So it's like for all my aspiring mediums in the group, you want to come and see Elaine too. So welcome. Happy to have you on as well, joining us here today. Hi, Patrick. Good to see you. How are you doing? Happy Friday to you. Thanks for coming on. And I want to say hi to there's Michael Christopher. Hello, my friend. And Kim Princess is here. Beautiful. Good to see you. Living the California dream, Lynn. The sun is shining. We're very blessed here. Hi, Nessie. Hello. How are you? Thanks for being here. Hi, Kate. Good to see you. We're happy to be back on the online live psychic readings page with Veronica Jenkins. We had a couple weeks off because of that time gap that we had with the UK. So we're back again. Very happy and very grateful to Veronica for allowing us to stream on her page. Hi, Kim. Hello, Sharon. Good to see you. Hello, Neeks. Good to see you as well. And hi, Arnie. Great to see you too. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the compliment. And hi, Sharon. So good to see you. Okay, I think we're almost caught up here. And there's Tamara. Good to see you. And Miss Fran has joined us, and Rosalind. So hello, big hugs from Jennifer Rose to everybody. So happy to see you. Okay, my dear beautiful friends, without further ado, I'm so excited for today's show. We're getting creative. So with that, everybody, please. Oh, you're a Taurus, beautiful. Well, Bull Ram, we're just making our way through, right, girl? Too funny, too funny. Hi, Trisha. Good to see you, beautiful. So please, everybody, let's give a warm welcome to the beautiful and lovely Raven Adams.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us and being my guest on Embracing Infinity today. We're very grateful to have you with us and giving you a warm welcome and a big hug from California over here and all across the world.
I love it because I'm in Missouri right now and I need the sunshine because it's like crazy rain right now, but it fits April energy like you were talking about before. So I'm enjoying the rain right now.
Yeah, it does make the flowers bloom, doesn't it?
It does. And congratulations on the 1-year anniversary. That's incredible.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's the one thing Spirit kind of kept a secret from me. I felt the calling to go into mediumship. I felt the calling to be a speaker. I felt the calling to do Sunday service, but hosting a show wasn't on my radar at all. And then it just kind of showed up and I was like, well, that's a nice surprise. You surprised me. Thank you. And it turned out I love doing it. So it's like, yeah.
I love it, and you're great at it. But as you know, spirit, you always think hi to everybody. I know there's so many people in the comments.
Yeah, a lot
Thank
of
you
your
for
friends
joining.
on here. Yeah.
But as you know, spirit, you always have an idea of your life, right? And you have to surrender, because spirit will bring new things into your life that you had no idea you were going to be doing.
That's very true too. So I definitely learned that, because we think it's all going to be pre-planned, or we're all going to like be, given that the heads up on everything. But nope, they hold some surprises for us too. So,
It's so
but that's a
true.
good thing. That's a good
Yeah,
thing. We do need a few surprises for sure. So as long as you don't,
absolutely.
uh, Lynn was saying, as long as you don't get blown away.
From the tornadoes, yeah. So there have been some tornadoes pretty close to me. That comes with the month of April. That's going to happen in the United States.
Yeah, it's the season for it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It is the
Very,
season for it.
very Dorothy Wizard of Oz.
Yes, exactly. Oh, I noticed somebody's here from Scotland. I love that. I definitely want to visit
Yeah.
there soon.
Yeah, me too. It's very magical there too. So I'm feeling called there as well. So I'm hoping at some point I'll be able to make it, because that little travel bug is in all of us, and it's like,
All of
yeah,
us.
yeah. So
Totally.
I'd love to come to New York where you are, and I'd love to come to the UK too. And so it's like I feel like we'll manifest that, right, Raven?
Yes. I mean,
So
listen, I'm in Missouri right now, but I feel like the next couple of years for me, all I want to do is travel. And I know we'll get into my placing cards. I'm like, that's all I want to do in life, is just travel and place cards. That's all that would make me happy.
that's not a bad, that's not a bad plan. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that a lot. So that sounds very fun. It sounds very in alignment with your spirit
Yeah.
and your contribution to the world here, and helping people to live happier lives. So I
Yeah.
think that's a great thing, and it fulfills your own, hopes and dreams and desires to have experiences in life that are meaningful, that you can take
Absolutely.
with you, because that's what we, as mediums, we know, what do we take with us when we
Hmm.
go to spirit world? Our memories and our love. So
It's
you're
so
making lots of
true.
memories.
And I love teaching people that it's like we live in a world where people are so materialistic, and as you know, being a professional medium, it's like you speak with people towards the end of their lives. What's important? It's not the fancy dishes in your kitchen, it's not a fancy phone. It's those experiences, right? It's those memories. And that's what people need to be more present in their life and really focus on stuff like that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And we're lucky that we've come to that understanding, and that we can share it with others as well. It's like to really be grounded in this reality, making the most of it, creating beautiful experiences, exchanging love with one another, fulfilling your purpose. And then
Hmm.
when it's our time to pass on, we can say, yes, I really lived, no regrets. Ooh, I got
Absolutely.
chills
It's
with
so
that one.
important.
So I'm going to read out to everybody just a little bit
Nancy.
about you.
That's funny.
What did she say? Okay.
She was like, let
She,
me take my purses with me. Girl, I get it. I love that. That's one thing for me is my purses. I love that.
Nancy's got really good taste too. She's got some very pretty things, but they speak Nancy. They're very demonstrative of her beautiful expression of herself. So they're very Nancy, but yeah, she knows her fashion. So
Aw, I can tell that. I love that though.
yeah, I know. She's my girl too. Hi, Ed. Tip top hats to you, my friend. Good to see you. And Heidi Goal has joined us from Colorado as well. She comes on every week too. Hello,
That's
KB,
awesome.
who's joined us as well. And I am Lulu. Happy Friday. Happy to see you as well. So I think I'm getting all caught up here. But I just
I
wanted to
love
read
it.
to everybody a little bit about you, Raven. So just take
Okay.
a second. So, for anybody who doesn't know Raven yet, or doesn't know everything that she does, Raven Adams is a photographer and intuitive channel, inspiring others with her journey. She started Lead with Energy as a way to bring inspirational messages with the use of tarot, angel, and oracle cards. She hides them in places around the world for people to find, to bring a little light. A true believer in synchronicity, she teaches others how to connect with themselves and with spirit on a deeper level. That's so cool. That's so cool. So when you're traveling, you pull cards and then you find a place to intuitively leave them for somebody to find them as like a little message from spirit. Is that
Yes.
correct?
So I've been doing this for years. It's my favorite thing to do. And again, I just want that to be my life. I just want to travel and leave cards around for people. So years ago in New York, I had a specific angel deck that I wasn't necessarily resonating with. And I'm the type of person, I don't like a lot of clutter around and stuff. So I'm like, what do I do with this? You know? And of course, it was spirit led. I'm like, I'm supposed to place these around. And the next day, I immediately started placing them around New York City. So you will not find me without cards in my purse. I will always have cards in my purse, and I put little post-it notes on the back of them, and I'll write channeled messages on the back of them, just whatever I get intuitively. Now, they're not crazy messages like paragraph long messages, and I think a lot of people think they have to go to a psychic or a medium and spend an hour or two to get a message. And I completely disagree. It could be a simple line. It could be seeing a ladybug. It could be seeing a rose, right? And you could get a deep message from it and a deep feeling. So I write just many channeled messages on the back of them. And I always have them in my purse. So wherever I go, it could be the grocery store. It could be a park bench. It could be in the subway. It could be in a grocery cart. I mean, I just intuitively do it. And it's insane the messages I get back from people, how it resonates with their life.
That's so cool. That's so cool. You're like a little earth angel, like leaving her little sparkles around, a little magic just for people to
Yeah.
find too.
And
So that's so
it's
cool.
honestly, it's so much fun. It really does bring me a lot of joy. I remember I was speaking to this one guy. He goes, I don't get it. He goes, I don't understand why you do it. He goes, you don't get paid. And I was like, no, I'm just supposed, it's just what I love to do. You know, I have my other courses and stuff where I teach people how to connect with spirit, but placing cards, I'll do it till the day I die. I absolutely love doing it. And it opens people up intuitively, right? So it's like people that maybe haven't had a connection with spirit, or they don't necessarily believe in angels. How funny is that? I just see 222. There we go. Somebody needed to see 222 right now. That's a sign from spirit. But a lot of people that message me after they get the card are like, wow, I'm going through something in my life. This resonated, or it opens them up to spirit, which I find beautiful, because a lot of people, we live in a crazy world right now, as you know. There's a lot of chaos, but there's also a lot of beauty, and people need those messages of faith and love.
Yeah, we absolutely do. Oh, I got chills with that too. So it's like we can't forget the beauty, and it's everywhere. It's out in
Mhm.
nature and it's in people and it's that act of love that you do for everybody too. And is this mostly international travel? So you go from state to state or city to city or country to country? Like,
It just depends. Like I'm in Missouri right now. I place them around here. I've been in New York
yeah.
for forever, so every day I would place them around there. It just depends on where I go. I was in London for a while. I placed them all around there. Had some interesting experiences with people finding them there as well. And what's interesting about placing these cards, it's not super structured like one may think. I purely work intuitively. If I wake up and I think I'm supposed to go to this park, right? I don't question it, right? It's kind of like mediumship where you have to, and I don't consider
Mhm.
myself a traditional medium, but I do know a mediumship. And when you connect with spirit, you have to surrender, right? Because if you get into too much in your head, what's that, Michael? I love him.
I know
When you
Michael's
get
here.
too
Hi,
much in your
Michael.
head, you're over analyzing things. And so I just keep the cards in my purse, and wherever I go, if I get an intuitive hit, leave it on this shelf, leave it on this bench. And I literally pick the card out intuitively. I just grab one and I place it. So it's very simple, but it works, and it usually resonates with the person. I've only gotten one crazy message, but the messages are usually pretty beautiful from the people that
Yeah.
message me on Instagram.
Okay. So do you leave your little handle on there so they know where to
So
find you?
yeah, so I just put a channel message, and then I put my Instagram account and my TikTok account. So
Okay.
I'll get messages from people that are like, I found your card. And what's funny too, I get people that message sometimes years later. I actually had a woman message me recently, and she found one of my cards like a year ago. And she goes, I'm just reaching out now because she goes, I had to sit with the message. She goes, I had to sit with the card. I'm like, completely understandable. And she goes, but now I realize why I found the card. And she goes, I wanted to reach out to you. I'm like, that's really beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that. It's so cool that I think, and from what I'm seeing, a lot of people are feeling inspired and they want to do the same thing. So it's like, I think you
Yeah.
started an Earth Angel trend, Raven, here today.
I would love that. I would love that. And listen, there's so many different ways to do it. And I would say, right, like if you have a deck that you're not using, that's just sitting there, why not? Or gift it to
Yeah.
somebody, leave it for somebody. I think it's a beautiful thing to do because we've all had these moments. And I know I've mentioned this on other podcasts, even being healers and mediums. We don't have everything figured out. I mean, I've had, Jennifer, I mean, like we all do. We have many days where we're going through a lot. Could be with family, could be with a relationship. It just, maybe you're in a depression, maybe you're just sad. And so even as mediums, we need those moments of sometimes reassurance or a sign from spirit. And so just keep that in mind in your day to day. If you're watching this, like you can be a light for somebody, even in the smallest moments.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Um, I get a lot of license plates. Like that's how spirit communicates with me a lot. So I get lots of
Uh-huh.
license plates, and sometimes I know them for me, but sometimes I know them they're for somebody else that I'm connected to because I'll see that name and I know, oh, that's for so and so. So I'll take a little picture of it and I'll send it to them like this one's for you. So they kind of use me to
Exactly.
pass on a message because I do drive a lot. So
Yeah.
so
I mean,
yeah,
that's a
that mhm.
perfect example. And that's how spirit works. It could be license plate. It could
Yeah.
be randomly hearing, you could be driving and you could hear a song, right?
Yeah, there's all kinds of ways, and we just have to be open to receiving them and to paying attention and to believing that it's
Mm-hmm.
not just your imagination, that it actually is there for you. And you talked about being a believer in synchronicity, and the more we start to get into it, and the deeper we go, and the more we start to believe that synchronicities exist, they start to increase, or at least you start to notice them more, and then
Mm-hmm.
after a while, you're like, oh my gosh, everything's connected. Like, I get it's all
Everything.
connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So something I do with I have a program with Lead with Energy where I pull a card for clients Monday through Friday throughout the day. And it's just a simple guidance card. So actually before I get into this, I want to answer this question I just saw. Somebody just said, what does 444 mean? So this is, again, my interpretation. 444 can mean many different things for many different people, right? It can mean something different for every single medium. It can mean something different for every single person. So I would suggest when you see the number 444, kind of ask yourself, what were you thinking of in that moment? Or you could even train your guides and say, hey guys, when I'm on the right track, send me the number 444. There's many different ways to interpret that. Like for me, obviously that's an angel number. But for me, 444 means family for me specifically, because I designed a Lead with Energy deck with my family on it. So when I see 444, I know I either need to contact somebody in my family or put out love to them. Does that make sense? Hopefully that helps a little bit.
Yeah, I love that. And want to say hi to real quick everyone who's joined us. I saw Jeffrey here and Lisa and Jess and
Hey,
Joe. So I
Lisa.
wanted to give you all a hello. Thanks for joining us here. So you do have your own deck that you've designed. Do you sell that on your website as well, or do you keep it for
So
yourself?
yeah, my Lead with Energy one that I have with my photography is like just from travels. I don't have that one up for sale yet. I still have to do a few things with it, but I do have a couple, which is interesting. We're doing a creative episode because you were just talking about synchronistic moments, right? And I was about to say, you made a great point, because the more you're open to it, you start seeing everything is connected. And I definitely tell people, when you start out with this journey, either get your cell phone or start a journal, because if you start writing down the synchronistic moments, you're telling spirit, hey, listen, I'm seeing this. I'm telling you, when people journal, when people write this down, also with dreams, when you write stuff down, spirit will bring you more. You'll start seeing it everywhere.
Yeah, it is amazing, and I have this phrase. It's like never surprised, always amazed, because it
Yes.
just never stops. It just keeps getting more and more and more, and it's like we'll constantly be reminded that it's all connected, and that spirit is everywhere, and we're not separate from it. And such
Yeah.
a beautiful thing. It's magical beyond magical.
Yeah,
So
and I love seeing professional mediums still getting excited about those little moments, because I feel like if you're in this field and you're getting bored with it, it's like, oh, you should still be getting excited about seeing a little sign from spirit, right? Because I'm still in awe when I see certain things, or I have a dream or a premonition. I'm like, did that just happen? It's just like you have to be in a curiosity energy, almost like a little kid when you do this work. That's when you really see a
yeah.
lot of magic.
Bingo right there. Bingo right there. And I want to say thank you to Vivian too. Good to see you. Aloha, my friend, too. So the creativity, the magic, the imagination. And as you and I know, this is the zone where our mediumship develops the best, you know. And I know
Absolutely.
when I teach, we do a lot of like fun, playful things, which is designed to kind of like get the inner child sort of like reawakened in us too. And it's amazing to watch what that unfolds. So you
Hmm.
are a creative. You're a
Hmm.
beautiful photographer. I've seen your work. It's really, really good. And so
Thank you.
you have learned to combine your creativity and your
Hmm.
intuition and your mediumship and your card work and all of that together too.
Yeah.
And I really feel like this is a, an optimal way to do this work,
Yeah.
because the spirit world is in that space. It's symbolic, it's imagination,
Hmm.
it's dreamy, and I feel like you've learned to embrace that.
Yeah. Well, it's really interesting because I'm not trained traditionally in mediumship, and people always ask me that. But it's fascinating to me because I've kind of learned my own way with spirit. And I'm telling you, my abilities since I started placing cards have increased like crazy. Like when I really years ago started placing cards, that's when it was like a snowball effect, right? Because I started seeing more and more synchronicities. And what's interesting too is sometimes when I place the cards, people will message me and it'll be like, even though I don't know it when I place it, I'll just say, hey, Spirit, I'm just the channel, the medium, let this card get to the right person at the right time. I've gotten many messages from people that have received a card and they're like, wow, my mom just passed. And the symbol on the card was for my mom. Isn't that beautiful? It's like you can even use an angel card or an oracle card to get a mediumship message across. And I know some mediums might disagree with that. However, I do things the way I do things. I do it in a creative way and it seems to work and bring light to people. So I just go with it.
Yeah, that's I mean, you can't make this stuff up. If somebody's mom has passed and you've pulled that card and left it for somebody, like that,
Hmm.
that's mom finding a way to get
Exactly.
through. Yeah. And
Exactly.
it's like
Yeah,
spirit finds a way. That's what they do.
they
They find
do.
a way.
They do. And it doesn't have to be going to having like a Zoom call with a medium. I mean, as you know, like you said, the license plate, it could be a song, it could be something in the park. You could be walking down the street and somebody's having a conversation and it's that exact thing that you needed to hear at that moment, right? You know? And
Yeah.
even I think this would be an interesting thing to talk about with creativity is AI, because I know a lot of people don't like it. um
Yes.
but I do have a deck where I do photography and portraits, but I do have a deck that I absolutely love because it's my travel photography. Now, I do have a few decks that I've made recently with AI, and people are like, I see so many artists, and there's beautiful artists out there that paint, and I have so much respect for it. But the thing with AI is not going away, right? It's here to stay. And so you can either use AI creatively to hurt people or you can use it to help people. And so I've used AI, and again, I'm still using my psychic abilities, meaning I see things clairvoyantly and I use AI to create stuff. So I've created like a Scotland deck and I've created a UFO deck. And again, I know a lot of people, a lot of creators and mediums are like, oh, I don't want AI. I'll never buy anything AI. But people seem to really like the decks, and it's made with an intention and love, and I think that's where it works. Does that make sense?
Makes total sense too. And we can always take something that we may have a negative response to and turn it into something positive. I mean,
Hmm.
that's kind of like, I've just found that to be what spirit is always offering to us when we go like, why does this bad thing happen, or why does that happen? It's like, well, what can we do to transform it into something good? How can we turn this destruction into something beautiful? Or how can we, but we're also, I think, humanly a little
Absolutely.
bit reluctant to change, and AI is new and it's change, and
Totally.
people don't like change, and
People
that's kind
don't.
of and it's hard, it's painful because it challenges our belief systems too,
Yeah,
so I get
it
that
does.
too.
And people don't like change, but honestly, it's a part of life and it will always be a part of life. Things will always be transforming, things will always be evolving. And so you have to ask yourself, again, how can I use AI in a beautiful way? Again, how can I use
Yeah,
social media in a beautiful way? Watch where you put your attention, right? Like, who are you following on social
yeah,
media? Are you watching the news all the time? Or what are you exactly like? Ask yourself, what are you doing with your energy day by day?
yeah, yeah, I agree with you. We can always make it more beautiful. We can always take
Mhm.
something and turn it into something more beautiful, and that is transformation. That's the way it is, and there's been a lot of that. We've had a lot of big planetary shifts and eclipse and moons and all
Mhm.
kinds of stuff happening the last few weeks. I'm not surprised if people are probably pulling their hair out at this point too.
Oh,
And
totally.
it's probably not going to finish as we're moving into April, because we've got Easter coming up and things like that, so that energy is very potent. So it's like learning to kind of like embrace the unknown and be
Uh-huh.
okay with the discomfort, and and then see what we can do with it too.
Yeah.
And so, but I love how you combined like your photography. So this is your creative sense of you, your desire to express yourself, and then to help people
Mhm.
with that expression. And then you're also combining that, like putting it into your cards that you're designing too, and
Mhm.
finding a way to like mold the two of them together. It's I love that about you too.
Yeah. Oh, it's so
um
much fun. And even, with my Lead with Energy page on Instagram, I post a lot of the cards that I place. And it's interesting too how it'll just align, right? Like I'll pick a random card that we know isn't random, but you know what I mean. And it will actually go with the energy of the place or the park or the restaurant that I place it. I mean, I've pulled a card before. I remember it was oh my gosh, this is crazy. I was in this restaurant, and before I pulled a card that I was going to leave on the table for the waitress, right before I even got my food, and I
yeah,
just kept it to the side because I do things very secretive. I don't like hand it to the person usually unless I'm like talking to somebody. That's very rare. I usually hide them and leave them, and I disappear. I call myself like a ninja. I disappear because I don't like to see when they find the
mhm,
card, because I want them to have a moment for themselves with spirit, right? I like to remove myself. But I pulled a card for this woman, and it was the death card, but it was a beautiful card because obviously, death is also kind of like Phoenix energy, rebirth. And I kept it to
yeah.
the side, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to leave this for the waitress. She comes back over, hands the food, the exact image on the card she had a tattoo of on her arm. So I'm like, to my friend, I'm like mind blown. And she messages me after, and she's like, I have this tattoo. And I'm like, I know, I saw afterwards. That's a perfect example of synchronistic moments that you can't make up.
I know it, and they never end. They're just going to keep going. They're just going to keep going. So it's like we just have to keep being like just open to the awe and the wonder. It's like the awe
Yeah.
and the wonder. That's what spirit is. It's a dream come into this reality, and I think as long as we're willing to move into that unknown and awaken to it,
Uh-huh.
and harness our own creative flow too. So I have seen with people such as yourself, other people who are artists. They may do like photography, like yourself. They may do painting. They may do acting, singing, playing music. Because they've got that kind of right brain thing pretty open
Hmm.
and keeping it really active, they're like their clairvoyance or their clairaudience seems to develop pretty naturally and easily and quickly too. So it's like, people will ask me, what can I do make my clairs better, play.
Mhm.
Play and create.
Absolutely. And it's like you nailed that. It's play, and it's being in that energy of like tapping into your inner child, right? You know, tapping into your inner child. It could be painting, it could be going outside, it could be dancing in the rain, you know, because as children are very, very intuitive. They don't have all, you know, the BS of the world in them yet, right? They see things differently. And so if you can get back into that curiosity state, you see things completely different. I feel like if you could look every day with curiosity and through the eyes of a kid, you see things completely different. I mean, I know sometimes my family makes fun of me because I'll be excited over a specific tree, or, you know, I'll see an animal outside. And it's like, I'm glad I get excited about those little things, because what's the point of life if you don't get excited about a rose or something simple? Because that's the beauty around us, you know?
Yeah. Speaking of which, a few minutes ago, I saw a little light kind of fly by and kind of go in front of you and right into the roses. And I'm like, was
Oh,
that
really?
dust or was that a fairy? I was like, yeah. And I meant to mention it was probably about 5 minutes ago. But yeah, I saw the light move around. I don't know if anybody else saw it, but I
Oh,
did. So we can go
wow.
back and watch the replay. And it went right into the roses. So I'm like,
Well, it's interesting. It's
So,
interesting you said that, because I had something sitting here. I'm going to show you, because I love how
okay.
you just mentioned play. Now I'm staying at this place right now that's like by a creek, and I was so excited because I was telling my friend, I'm like, I can't wait till after this live because I'm going to go down by the creek. Now, the creek to me reminds me of my childhood, because that's where I would connect with angels and fairies. And I used to see sparks of light when I was a kid, and people thought I was
Hmm.
crazy. Um, but now I know I really was seeing elementals and stuff. But speaking of creativity, you're going to love this, Jennifer. I actually did buy this little, I don't know if you can see it. It's a little fairy door. It's going to be
Oh,
hard to see.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And it actually says
Uh-huh.
fairy garden on it. So I'm actually, speaking of creativity, sometime this week when the rain calms down a little bit, there's kids around here, and I'm going to make a little fairy garden for them, right? Because they've been asking about fairies and elementals. But again, that's being back in that curiosity state. But it's funny you mentioned fairies, and I have a fairy door sitting here.
Yep, that's probably why I got that
Yeah,
little hint.
that's
Like, you forgot
probably
to talk
why.
about the light. You forgot to talk about the light too. And you're right about children, because they could squat down and stare at a little roly poly on the ground for 20 minutes, totally
Oh, yeah,
fascinated,
totally.
And so when we can reclaim that like roly poly 20-minute stare,
Yeah.
we've done some we've done something good. Now, you also can help people incorporate more creativity in their business, like their spiritual businesses as well, correct?
Yes, that is one of my favorite things to do, because I know so many mediums and healers that are incredible at what they do. And, you know, social media is a lot of work nowadays. You have so many, you have Twitter, you have, well, what is
Yeah.
X now? You have Instagram, you have Clapper, you have TikTok. So it's a lot of stuff you have to learn. And people don't realize that it takes a lot of patience and time to learn it. Now, me being a natural creative, I love it. I can spend hours learning TikTok, learning different edits, but I do know a lot of intuitives that absolutely hate it. They hate doing social media, but you got to kind of find what is your thing, right? It doesn't have to be like everybody else. It's like, you know, I don't know if Michael's here anymore. Michael Christopher, like he's somebody that, you know, he is so, I don't know if he's here anymore, but he is so funny. And I've seen some of his stuff, like his sense of humor. And like, I would love to see him, for example, do little clips of his jokes and stuff, because I feel like that's his gift. Like that's his unique
Hmm.
thing that makes him stick out. But a lot of people don't know how to edit. But if you really, I love that, Minty 444. That's good. But there's so many different ways. I love helping intuitives do, and not that you have to do something like me where you place the cards, but ask yourself, what do I enjoy doing? And it could be simple video edits. It could be, yeah, I love working with different mediums and stuff as far as that, because it can be complicated sometimes if you're not a creative, you know?
Yeah, it can feel kind of scary and daunting to do technology. And course, COVID forced a lot of us to do it, even though we didn't want to. We were probably kicking and screaming a little bit, but we all learned how to go on Zoom.
Exactly,
At
exactly.
least we got, and then there was no more printing flyers out on a copy machine and taking them to the bookstore, the metaphysical bookstore. It's like, no, you've got to create graphics now, and now you've got to learn how
Exactly.
to go on that. So we had to
Exactly.
embrace technology, and Michael Christopher is still here.
Oh, he is here. Oh,
Yeah, he's
awesome.
still
What's up,
here.
Michael?
He's still here too. And I saw another light go past you as well. So
Oh, I love
everyone's
that.
loving the fairy talk too. They were like, I love fairies. I love fairies. So
Well, I know you did the show with Shannon and what else was
and Fran, yeah,
and Fran.
messages. Hmm.
I mean, you three together, I mean, you guys embody fairy energy completely. So I was laughing, I bought this fairy door like a week ago, and I remember thinking, I have to show Jennifer this when we do the live. So it was funny you even brought that up.
Yeah, we love them. We love them so much. Yeah, we do. Thank you. Make a good team, and it's just a lot of fun. And we were surprised when we just did it for fun at how well received it was, and then how uplifting it was. So we're like, okay, I think we should do more of this, and so we did. We just kind of follow the lead with that too. So
I
that's been.
love it. Michael, I'm glad you like that because Michael, you do. I love your sense of humor,
he's
and I
he's
feel like
very funny.
yeah, Michael, you've got to make like I think it would be so beautiful if you could cut little clips of you, like little funny moments, and do maybe like a TikTok or a video that you put on Facebook because that's like I don't know. I always think of you and your humor. I think that would be great for you creatively.
Yeah, I love that. And that's so cool, Lisa, that your mom's name is Clarice Rose and your granddaughter's name is Aurora Rose. That's beautiful. And Winifred
It's
Rose, too.
beautiful.
That's so cool. Oh, thank you. That's beautiful, Lisa. If anybody else here who's watching, I think we're about to get to some messages, but if anyone has any
Mhm.
questions of how they can help with their spiritual business, there's a lot of mediums and healers here on with us. So this would
Mhm.
be a great time to ask how you could improve your business and make it more creative now that we've got the pro here. So I'm going to
Yeah.
suggest to everybody take advantage. You can ask questions
Yeah.
about that and see how she can assist you with that too. Mara loves the gnomes. I love the gnomes too.
I love that. Yeah.
I do. I love gnomes. They're just so fanciful. I don't know how to
They
explain it.
are.
They
They're
just
so
make me
cute.
so happy. Yeah.
I
Hey,
just got
Don, who's
one
joining
for
us?
my nephew.
Yeah, they're so fun. I just who doesn't love a gnome? I mean,
I
really.
know, right? Or building fairy gardens. Who doesn't love that? And again, that's
Yeah.
tapping into creativity and your inner child and the curiosity.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't have to make it that complicated. And it's like by playing and being creative, it really, really is going to help all of your intuitive abilities, just because that's where spirit will remember how does spirit will communicate with us through dreams,
Oh,
daydreams,
yeah.
night dreams. Is it all like just straightforward? No, it's very symbolic too.
Hmm.
And it's like I imagine it must be a little work for them because once our loved one's over in spirit world and they're back in that creative flow again, because the spirit world is a very creationary energy,
Hmm.
I would imagine then they have to come back and really like try to be their personality so that we'll recognize them, and so
Yeah.
they
Well,
have to.
yeah. And also like
Mm,
creativity. That's why I think it's important for if I mean, every teacher is very unique, right? When it comes to healing and mediumship, but you've
mm,
you've nailed it though, as far as like the play, because if things are too serious, I've taken classes before where I feel like I'm intuitive when I don't even try, right? When I'm creative. And so sometimes
yeah.
classes or Zoom classes can be too structured, right? For me personally, to where I'm like, wait, where did my intuition go? Like I'm not having fun here because I'm too much in my mind. So play really does open up your abilities completely.
Yeah, it helps a lot. And it was funny because when I teach mediumship development circles on Zoom, and then I started getting guided to do just these like fun little exercises at the end and where I was group, but they were very, very playful. And I finally
Uh-huh.
realized what Spirit World was doing. I was like, why are they giving me these? And I was like, oh, I get it now. I get it now. And
Yeah.
it turned out to be really fun. And we actually did a lot of growth through these little fun things that we did at the
And
end after our like more traditional work.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it also relaxes people, right? Because a lot of people, and it makes sense. It's like mediumship can be, intimidating. And so like having those little fun moments of exercises and bringing in that, I would like to say like fairy energy kind of relaxes the students and the teacher. You
Yeah.
kind of ground your energy a little more and people feel more comfortable.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be so hard and serious all the time. We adult enough.
Oh,
We
totally.
do a lot
I
of
agree.
adulting. We do a lot of adulting. Okay, beautiful friends. Shall we move on to a few messages? We do have from Lisa, what's the best way for me to get back to being a medium and tarot reader? She has 24 cards and her favorite is the fairy cards.
Oh, I love that. I wonder if you're
Yeah.
speaking of the Doreen Virtue fairy cards. Well, I mean, I feel like that to me, that's a very simple question. It's like, make it fun. If you want to get into mediumship or back into mediumship and tarot, just practice it, right? I mean, I wouldn't force yourself. Or maybe you've had those fairy cards, maybe to make the energy a little new, maybe go into a crystal shop or you can go online, but I think it's good to actually feel the cards in your hand. Say, hey, Spirit, I kind of want to up my energy and be more playful. Maybe pick out a new deck for yourself, a new fairy deck or a new angel deck, and just practice and have fun with it. And you guys, there's so many different classes nowadays. I mean, from mediumship to Reiki, Jennifer's a great teacher, but it's like, go to a teacher that you're drawn to, right? Go to a teacher you're drawn to and just remember, have fun with it. Because if you're too serious, that's when you're not going to enjoy it. So if you want to get into anything, you have to have fun with it. We've been talking about that this whole time. You have to have curiosity. You have to play. You have to have fun.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that. That was perfect too. I'm just seeing if there's any more question. Yes, Kim Princess has the Doreen Virtue card. So beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
I
have
wonder,
one.
does,
Yeah, go ahead.
oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. Keep going.
No. Oh, I was just going to say, if anybody in the chat has any questions about creativity within their business, I would love to answer that. Or even if somebody has, a mediumship business, if they have a healing business, if they have any questions, I would love that.
Yeah, and Steven saw the light too, so I'm glad I'm not the only one too.
I have a feeling we're surrounded by
Mhm.
fairies, both of us right now.
I think so. I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. December Hill was saying, I've been told I have a fairy that helps heal me. I wonder if I'm communicating.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, if you feel that, I would suggest, okay, here's the thing. I'm trying to see if I see the comment. I've been told, I don't see it. I think she said she's been told. So I will
Yeah.
say this, because you're going to have a lot of mediums and a lot of psychics say XYZ. Like I've had mediums tell me certain things and it didn't necessarily resonate. So before you take something as is, I would say ask your heart, right? And ask yourself. And if you are open to elementals, if you're open to angels, and if you're open to fairies, do that work yourself. I suggest getting out into nature and call actually a specific angel that's really good with connecting with fairies that I specifically use is Ariel. So if you're still here, call in Angel Ariel. She helps a lot with connecting with elementals and fairies when you're out into nature. And also give offerings. I always tell people this. It's funny, Jennifer, you have your fairy show and now we're on to fairies, talking about fairies. I see a lot of mediums where they say, oh, don't go into a fairy circle. Don't connect with fairies because they're like, they can be nasty and have bad energy. So I found since a kid, if you respect nature and fairies, they will respect you back. Okay, so just remember that. Don't go into connecting with spirit with a fearful energy or fey energy with a fearful energy. They recognize pure hearts and they recognize good souls. Respect nature and respect them, and they will be open. They will show themselves to you.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. Thank you. I think that needed to be said too. I think sometimes if we come in with the wrong attitude or that too, then it's like we're we're creating something that doesn't need to be there.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
I love how you worded that too. You do have some other questions that are coming in, and thank you for that. Let me see here. Arnie Layton is saying, what direction should I move next? Jess would like some insight on her spiritual business as well, too.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
Arnie, First off, I absolutely love your decks, and I love the new one that you have. And I meant to say earlier, we were speaking that you use a little bit of AI. I think something that would be beautiful for you, because I see you place a lot of the cards, and I can pull a card for you here in a second, but I'm just going to get what I'm getting intuitively. But kind of more, it would be interesting for, I think, your followers to see almost your process in creating them, right? And even you speaking on camera, because I see a lot of your photos of the cards and they're absolutely beautiful. I love the dragon ones that you just made. And I know you said you use some AI with that. So it would be kind of cool. And honestly, if you want to DM me later, I'm sure you could figure this out, but if you have any questions as far as like cutting or screen recording certain things, but to show people kind of like a behind the scenes of how you design the cards, or you using the cards, even if you did like simple videos on TikTok. Does this make sense? I am working on
He's
a video
working on
of
it as
creating
we
decks.
speak.
I love that. I love that, because I feel like we need more videos of you actually like speaking on camera. Or, you know what I love seeing is creators that do like Photoshop and work where they screenshot the computer of them editing everything. Just because I think your decks are beautiful, and I could see you like teaching other people how to do that and a little behind the scenes. I think people would love that. But do you want a card too?
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna pull her. I'm gonna use my Scotland deck for you, Arnie. And you're gonna love this, because I know you said you used AI. I used AI for this one. I've never been to Scotland, but I want to go so bad. I feel like I'm gonna go this year. Talk about a magical place, Scotland. That place looks really magical.
It really does. Yeah. Scotland, Ireland. I think it's where that's lots of fairies there, lots of magical energy.
Oh,
too.
I know.
And,
exactly what I was working on. Oh, that's awesome. I'm excited to see. That's awesome, Arnie. Okay, let me pull a card for you. I'm going to ask Spirit. How can this happen to be more? Give me one sec. Ooh, I love this. I don't know if you'll be able to see. It's a stag. And the card is leadership. It might be hard to see here with the ring light, but Arnie, I'm going to keep this to the side. I'm going to send this to you later. So this is a stag, and it's the leadership, but it's everything I was just talking about, because I feel like you do all these cards and I love it, but Spirit's like, step up with your teaching people. I feel like you're supposed to be teaching more. And so really step into that leadership role this week. I'm going to send you the photo of it and see what you get intuitively off of the card as well. But that makes sense with everything that I was just talking about. I feel like you're supposed to be speaking more, teaching people more on how to do this. I think you'd be great at it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, Arnie. I'm so excited for you. So well done, well done. I can't wait to see what you're working on too. So I gotta make sure I like keep posted for you there. So I'll keep looking for you too. Yeah, yeah. And I love the dragons too. They're so much fun too. And okay, Michael Christopher would like a card.
Yes. Do you want to pull cards too, Jennifer?
How about I'll pull a card too, and I also Stephen was talking about photo editing to make images look improved too. I thought we could at some point speak on that as well, and I do want to make sure we get back to Jess too.
Yeah, so, I would love that.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll get my cards out too. So I'm gonna get my mermaid cards out. There's been a lot of mermaid energy in the ethers lately. I don't know if you picked up on that.
I agree.
But yeah.
Yeah. For sure. So let's go to Christopher. Is that who's next?
Michael Christopher wanted a card.
Okay, yeah. Michael Christopher. Let me pull for Michael. Okay, Michael. A card for Michael. Spirit, Michael Christopher.
I'll do one for Michael's then. So I'll take a Michael, you take a Michael. Hi, Colin. Okay, how are you?
What's up, Michael Zen? Okay, so Michael Christopher. I don't like the way my camera is. It's hard to see. So this is my Lake of the Ozarks deck, and it's a dragonfly for good luck. So you have all the good luck coming to you this week. And I feel like you're such a light for so many people, and you make so many people laugh. So remember to be open to receiving that luck for you as well. Spend more time outdoors. I feel like you need to spend more time outdoors. Let me know if you see a dragonfly the next couple of weeks, because that would be really, really funny. But I want to pull one more for Michael as far as his, like, I know I said some things as far as creative energy for him. But let me pull one more for him as far as his, I feel like I'm supposed to pull one for you for business, Michael. But yeah, look out for dragonflies this week. Let me pull one for your business. Action stuff for Michael's business. Growth, yeah. You got the growth card. This is not my deck, but I definitely feel like you're putting yourself out there a lot more, but challenge yourself a little more, right? Like I want you to, now that you watch this show, kind of challenge yourself a little more creatively with your Facebook content, right? With your Instagram content, different platforms that you have, kind of challenge yourself and mess around with it. And also anybody watching, if you're afraid of creativity, listen, when it comes to social media and content, you're going to fail a million times. That's just a part of it. It's like taking a mediumship class. You're going to fail over and over until you get it. There's been so many times where I've edited things or I've tried out certain music to certain videos or certain edits with photos and it doesn't work. That doesn't mean you failed completely. That's a part of life with anything, right? So like just keep practicing with it. So yeah, Michael, tap into your creativity this week and let me know what you come up with. I'm curious.
I love that. I love that too. So, and I will I've got 2 cards for Michael's then. And then anything you can share, because I think Steve was talking about photo editing, anything that you might be able to share after I do
Absolutely.
Michael's about how people can make their photos look better too. I love doing that too, being that you're a photographer, but it's so fun to take a picture and just kind of like play with all of the controls. And that's another way to be
Absolutely.
creative too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
for
love that.
sure.
Okay, Sir Michael, then, my friend, too. I got 2 cards for you. One is 24, Feel Your Power, my friend. So look at that one. And the second one is number 17, which is High Tide. Okay. So when I feel into these together too, and we know like it is funny because we were talking about the big wave last week too, because there has been so much powerful energy coming in with all of these shifts coming in that it can feel like this like enormous wave. And at that time last week, Spirit was kind of saying sometimes you ride it, sometimes you bop over it, and sometimes you dive underneath and then you wait and you come back out the other side too, right? And so as you are going through your transformation and you're feeling more of your power, these emotions and things are going to come up for you to basically learn to embrace. And like what they're showing me is you're learning to kind of like open up to the all possibilities. And with that emotional energy, you can tap into that because that's part of your creative flow. So as you're moving into your power, connecting more with your emotional self and being too, what that does for your creative flow, for your creative business, for your being and your spiritual transformation is it gives you this kind of like huge up leveling for you too. So this is actually a really exciting time. And then once you kind of do that up leveling by going in, you go up is what they're showing me for you too. So this is super exciting, but opportunities are going to start opening doors for you. Like they're going to start showing up for you too, which is going to create more comfort and flow in other parts of your life too. I also want to say they put big, beautiful love around you too. So just know that love is embraced around you as also, and there's blessings around that too that I have to give you too. So I hope that's helpful for you. And that was kind of fun. I don't think I ever got to pull a card for you, Michael. So that was kind of fun. So thank you for allowing me to do that too. Okay.
And he's a great creative, Michael.
Right.
His
He works
photography,
with
his
the
edits.
AI too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah, I agree too. So, so what could we do to improve our pictures when we're posting on social media and being creative?
Yeah. So I say this is practice, 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 right? So a lot of people think they have to have a computer or buy Photoshop. Not at all, you guys. We're at a time where there's so many different apps that you can use. And if you want to afterwards, after the show's over, I can put in the comments a few apps that I use to edit, right? You don't have to be a professional photographer to do simple edits. I'm actually teaching a few people right now how to just download certain apps on their phone and cut photos and little things like contrast or upping the vibrancy of something. But this could take
Yeah.
hours to learn some of these apps, right? Some of them are very simple, but some of them can be a little more complicated. But once you get the hang of them, give yourself a couple hours, even if you do it a couple hours over a couple weeks to learn these apps. mess with them, right? Mess with the controllers. Here's the thing, and I've noticed this with people. A lot of people don't want to put in the work, right? It's like they say they want to run a business. They say they want to do stuff with, multiple different things, but they don't want to put in the work. And it's like, we live in a time now where if you have a business, not only mediumship and healing, any type of business, social media is key. So if you are not a creative type and if you don't want to learn it, then hire somebody to do it. But I'm telling you, even if you're not really good with social media, you can still download these simple apps and learn a few things, right? You guys, we have YouTube now. Go on YouTube, look up a certain app
Yeah.
and learn certain things, right? And I would say to improve photos, obviously lighting's a big thing. You can even buy off of Amazon, tiny little, like I have a ring light right now. You can buy little ones for your phone if you want to take selfies, if you want to create portraits. You could even challenge yourself. Let's say that you want to learn about photography and you only have an iPhone. Get a couple little lights, okay? Practice at home, work with shadows, work with lighting, work with different apps. This is, again, all about kind of getting in that zone of being curious. I feel like curiosity is the key when it comes to this.
I love that, Raven. And I have an iPhone too, and I've learned there's a big difference between portrait setting and regular photos.
Oh,
And a lot of
yes.
people, they don't even know they can just like one little toggle over and they can get it on portrait setting. And as long as you're not too close or too far away, the picture is so much more beautiful. And then
Oh,
there's a
yeah.
flashlight. There's a flashlight on there, everybody, and you can like adjust the lighting and brighten it up. And like you said, there's
Yeah.
vibrancy on there. There's warmth. You can warm it up too. And but
Yeah.
I found that people are very appreciative when you take the time. If you've taken a photo at a gathering or
Mhm.
something, they're very appreciative if you've taken the time to just enhance it a little bit too, because sometimes normal
Mhm.
cameras they're not that forgiving, and they actually aren't
Yeah.
always very kind with if you've got bad lighting in a room or outdoors and
Yeah.
things like that. And then you can just go and like warm it up a little bit, brighten it up a
Yeah.
little bit, and it makes a big difference
And
with
it's
that too.
Yeah, and it's all about adjusting, right? So a funny story, I
Yeah.
remember I was in a photo shoot at a hotel in New York and I was shooting this comedian,
Yeah.
right? And tell me why I am always prepared with my lighting and everything. And my actual light, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe this happened. It actually broke, it went out. Now, my own fault, I didn't have a backup professional light with me. Now, it's funny because I have a friend of mine that's a professional photographer out in California, and this happened to him one time, and he goes, Raven, he goes, I had a heart attack. He's like, I did not know what to do. I was in the middle of this shoot. And I think my mind as a creative goes to what's the solution. And so I freaked out for about 20 seconds. And then you know what I did? And you would not even know. I literally had the camera in one hand. I got my cell phone and put it on flashlight. Okay. I
Hmm.
put it on the guy's face just to change the lighting a little bit. I took the photo and then I adjusted more of it in Photoshop. Now, I could have started crying there or freaking out, but again, it's about like adjusting and just figuring things out. And so when it comes to learning creativity, don't be so hard on yourself. Have fun with it, play, fail. That's a part of creativity. That's a part of it.
Yeah, I love that. And it's that little bit makes a difference, taking that little bit of time, and people do feel it and appreciate it too.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's nice to put something beautiful out there for people to enjoy, to give them that little smile, and it's like
Hmm.
that it's a gift. It is
It
a
is.
gift.
It definitely
Yeah.
is. That's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. Heidi was saying to use the black and white and the different filters can be amazing too. Yeah, there's all kinds of things on the phones
Yes.
these days that you can use. So just take the time to get in there and press the buttons like a kid would do. A kid would just go
Yeah.
in and press every button. What does that do? What does that do? What does that do?
Yeah. I mean, that's honestly, that's how I learn my apps. That's how I learn it. And I know a really good photographer in New York, and he does incredible portraits of
Mm,
dancers. And I remember I asked him one time, I'm like, what do you use? And he sent me a couple apps. And I'm like, oh, I see why this guy charges the way he does, because it's apps that you buy, but you have to spend hours learning them. But if you want to up your creativity in your social media, there's so much competition nowadays. Why not spend the time to learn it, right? If your heart is really in your business, no matter what business you do, you people have to understand social media is just something that's going to be getting bigger and bigger. AI is going to be bigger. So it's like, how can you take advantage of it? Instead of pushing it away, say, how can I embrace this? How can I learn?
Yeah, because they're not going away.
Yeah,
They're
it's
not going
true.
away. It's like it's kind of a must. We've got to get on the take the time to learn, and it's an investment in yourself, right? It's an investment in
100%.
yourself. And it's kind of like sweat equity, right? It's like you're not getting paid to learn how to do these things, but they're
Uh-huh.
going to help you in the long run, right? They're going to
Yes,
help you in the long run too. And plus you get to use
absolutely.
that part. Let me see here too. Let me see. Minty May says, good old improvising. Vivian
It's
says,
so
play with
true.
AI and social media too. And too. Okay. Hi, Lisa. I also want to say hi to Crystal, who's joined us as well. Good to see you, everybody. Thanks for being here. Let me see. Steven says his profile pic is a mirrored family crest of my family, and then he edited it himself. That's super
That's
cool.
cool. Yeah.
Michael's going to keep his eye out for those dragonflies
Let me know.
too. Okay. So do you want to see is Spirit? Vivian says, isn't Spirit photoshopping our dreams each night?
Oh my God, I love that. It's so true. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious.
That was so cool, Vivian.
That's so funny. Oh my God. I feel like with everything going on in the world right now, my dreams have been crazy lately. My dreams have been insane. That's another thing. People should be, if you're on here, start keeping a dream journal, because I feel like Spirit is going to be getting a lot to people in dream state for sure.
Yeah, because that's when we're open. Hey, Gary, how are you? It's my
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for being on here, friend. Good to see you too. Okay, let me see. Tracy was saying, I was thinking of doing a self-catering holiday home. Do you think it would be successful?
What
Self-catering.
does she mean by that?
I think a holiday at home, catering it herself, I think is what she's
Oh,
saying.
you
Is
mean
that
like just
correct?
like, okay. Like just doing like an event at your home. That's what she means.
I think so. Yeah, and she's going to cater it herself.
See, I mean,
Do you
that
think it
that
would
goes
be?
perfect with what we're speaking about. If you did something like that, talk about creativity. I mean, setting up the tables, setting up the food a specific way. You could have a lot of fun with it, with that, come up
Yeah.
with specific, if you wanted to, come up with a specific theme, come up with specific colors, and mess around with it before you even do it and play with it. Again, it comes down to being playful and being curious if you did something like that creativity wise.
Yeah. The flowers, the candle, the music, like it would
Ooh,
all come together. I
yeah,
love
it
that.
makes such a difference.
I love that. That's really cool too. Let me see here.
Wasn't there another
Um,
woman earlier that had a creativity? What was her name? I forget.
Let me
She had a
see here.
question way earlier. I forget.
We can see if we can find it. Kim Princess is saying her intuitive downloads are on fire right now too. That's
That's
super
awesome.
cool.
Good.
Anna was saying, what does 1221 mean? She doesn't know how accurate Google is yet. It's hard when you Google numbers because you'll get like 25 different interpretations.
Exactly.
And then after
And
a while, all the numbers start to have you get the same interpretation for pretty much every number that you're putting in.
it's so true. It's like
Yeah.
you can look up 222 and then look up 1111 and it can have the exact same meaning. And that's again why I said earlier, I'm sure Jennifer, you'll agree with this as well.
Yeah.
It depends on the person. It depends on the medium. It depends on, again, it's like when you see specific numbers, ask yourself, what was I thinking of at that moment? Was I asking for a sign? Was I thinking of a specific person? It's happened to me before where I'm thinking of somebody and then I see a number, and that could be spirit saying, hey, contact them, or this number's for them, or this is from their spirit guides. So again, I think when it comes to improving intuitive abilities, it really is practicing and being present and aware.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Tracy got back to us and she says she means building a house and using it as a vacation home. Oh,
Oh,
I
okay.
totally didn't get that one, Tracy. Sorry.
Okay. I was like, wait, what? The wording like that?
Wow. Building a house and using it as a vacation home. How cool is that?
I
You
think
could do
I mean,
so much.
I'm
Hmm.
getting, yes, I think that would be a great idea. I mean, I think that's, yeah, absolutely. Now, if you're willing to actually put in the work and the maintenance for certain things, yes. Or if you have the people around that can take care of it, absolutely. That's a big thing nowadays, though. Airbnbs and stuff, you can do a lot with them.
Hmm. Yeah, that's beautiful. I did want to come back to Jess as well, because she was asking what she could do to enhance her spiritual business too, and make sure we,
That's the girl that, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Um, there we go. Kelly, can we pull up Jess's comment again? Love. I know she's in here too.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was just asking for help with her spiritual business. So let's see if I can find it.
This I would.
There she is too. And
Awesome. I would like some help on my
yeah.
spiritual business. Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a card for you. I'm going to pull a couple. Jess, I've seen you before. Okay. Jess, overall energy of the spiritual business. That's funny. It's funny. They're telling me you already know, you're just not acting on it. Okay. So first off, I get deep knowing in reverse. You're super sensitive to energy, but I'm getting like empath overload. So be careful with taking on other people's energy. Definitely be really consistent with doing stuff like salt baths, with putting boundaries up with people. Okay. Even black tourmaline, certain crystals, because you take on a lot and it confuses your energy sometimes. So make sure to have boundaries with people. You got to get clear with, okay, this is my energy. This is my thoughts. This person over here, this spirit, that's theirs. Because sometimes that can cloud your judgment with things. And so spirit's like, just when you feel like empathic overload, just ground your energy a little more. Okay. I'm going to pull on your creative business, on your spiritual business. Action steps you can take. Give me one more sec. I do see you doing something with, give me one sec. Let me pull one more. That makes sense. Okay. So I can send these cards to you later, Jess, but I got the hummingbird forgiveness card for you, and I got the transmute card, which is the snake. So these two together for me, I feel like you're going to be teaching people how to transmute energy. And it's funny, I just brought up that you need to learn boundaries yourself, because I feel like once you master this and learn how to be in your own energy and ground a little more, you're going to be able to teach people not only forgiveness of other people, but you're going to be teaching people how to forgive themselves. So if you've been thinking about maybe doing a class or maybe doing one-on-one coaching calls with people, teaching them how to transmute energy in their life. So just keep that in mind. And also, if you see snake energy this month, also the number 111 and snake energy this month, spirit is saying transmute things in your own life. But I definitely feel like you're supposed to be teaching people how to transmute energy, but you've got to also like practice that yourself weekly for a lot of us, right? None of us are masters here. We're all constantly learning. We're all constantly transmuting energy. And so keep that in mind this week. The hummingbird for forgiveness, okay, Jess? And the snake energy for transmuting energy. That would be beautiful if you could teach people that. Let me know if that makes sense for you. I know there's a lag on this sometimes. Oh, Jennifer, I can't hear you.
Oops. How's that?
Now I can hear you. Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah, and hi to Ronnie, who's joined us as well. So I'm not sure, Jess may have popped out, but I'll make sure too that she knows that you gave a message for her too.
Awesome.
But I
Okay,
also
cool.
saw Joe White. You asked, you would love to know what your life's purpose is. And so it's funny, Joe, I'm actually going to pass on some advice from our old friend Neil Donald Walsh from Conversations with God, because I was just watching him on TV because he has an old series that I was watching too, and someone came on asking him that very same thing, and he's like, "Well, you already know, but I'll help you figure it out anyways, you know." And he says, "I feel happiest when." Right. And so ask yourself, I feel happiest when, and then see what comes out. And then how you go about that, there's a whole bunch of different ways. It's not like there's only one way to express your life's purpose. and it can show up in ways that you're not expecting. So you may be like, my job doesn't necessarily go with that. Maybe it actually does. So it's just a way of like shifting your perception. So I want to leave that with you, because I feel like one of the reasons I heard that was also for you and anybody else here who's sitting. So so instead of us telling you what it is, it's like you already intuitively know, like that's your spirit, that's your soul. And when you get that wave of emotion that comes over you, Joe, you know, oh, okay, that's it right there. Because I don't want to take that experience away from you, because it's in you and you have such a beautiful heart. So it's like, just it's in there. So I promise you. So I'm going to leave you with that. And
Jennifer,
thank you for being here.
that was beautiful. Yeah, because it's so true.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes people look for somebody else to tell them what they're supposed to do. And a simple thing I like to ask my clients too, like what is your joy? What brings you joy? Because the more you practice within your joy and the more you're playful, that's where you find the right path and your intuitive hits.
Yeah, exactly. So it's becoming one with ourself, really. It's becoming one with ourself. And Raven, I think we forget, we talk about shadow work sometimes. And I think when we think of shadow work, we're integrating maybe the parts of self that we're less comfortable with, but we don't realize within the shadow, within the unknown, the unconscious mind, which is our soul, our spirit, it's like that's where the gold is. It's our creative potential that we may have locked away long ago because it wasn't, we're naturally very artistically inclined, but our family, friends were all athletically inclined. And so we learned to put our creativity in this little box, and it's now hidden down beneath the surface. We got to go back and find that again. Like it's waiting for, there's a lot in there that we may not even be aware of. Like, I didn't know I could do poetry. I knew I liked to write, but I didn't know I liked to write this way or do poetry until I got into my mediumship world too. So, but that was something I uncovered with, with going inside and allowing and going into the imagination zone. So yeah.
That's beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah. And a lot of people hear shadow work and they get a little afraid of it, but you nailed it. That's where you find the gold, right? And a lot of us have a lot of trauma from childhood. And I have my own things with my own family that I've had to learn and transmute and be like, wait, why did I shut my abilities out? Why did I stop doing XYZ? And once you face those, exactly like you said, that's when you say, wait, no, I'm able to do this. I can be in my joy. They might not understand, but I can be in my joy and I'll find the right people.
Right. We can do anything.
Yeah.
We're spirit.
Exactly.
Of course we can. We just forget sometimes,
Yeah.
And this isn't wrong. It's just how it is. But the pull of being in a dualistic reality and believing that whatever your story is kind of playing out right now in your awareness, and we get so pulled into it, like we think it's all so very real, right? Like that, it's a very strong magnetic pull. And so part of the awakening is developing the awareness that it's there, and then you can maintain a balance of that, right, too.
Absolutely.
But we get so sucked into it so easy because it's supposed to be that way. We all designed it that way, everybody.
It's true. Yeah. The ups and downs of life, it's a part of the experience of being human.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful one too. Like to be here with you, Raven, like is a gift and a miracle. I can feel it. I can feel like my soul and your soul like are having this beautiful exchange. And we're in this, what we look like on the outside, but like our spirits are just talking to each other, sharing heart connection. And everybody else who's joining us is part of this heart connection too, and they're sharing it too. We're blessed.
Yes. And thank you everybody for logging on. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you have a lot of friends supporting you here today. You're very loved and very appreciated, Raven. And thank you so much for sharing all of your wisdom and your helpful hints on everything. It was a big gift for everybody here today. I would love to ask if any final words, final group message, anything you would like to leave with everybody here today, because we're so grateful to have you.
Yes. Well, this show's about creativity. So anybody watching this, don't be afraid if you're not a natural creative. Like maybe this is a challenge this week to challenge yourself on maybe learning photography, maybe learning, maybe actually just being playful, being a kid, being curious. Get yourself of that energy. You know, we were talking earlier, I'm going to build the fairy garden this week. Maybe do gardening as far as a creative energy. Do something creative this week and have fun with it. I feel like we sometimes live in a society where there's a lot of pressure to be perfect or to have the perfect job, to have the perfect family. That's all an illusion. You guys, nothing will ever be perfect. And like you said, we live in a world where it's like ups and downs. And so have fun with it when you're learning about creativity and when you're learning about spirit. And the more open and playful you are, the more you will tap into not only your creativity, but your intuitive abilities. So just keep that in mind this week. And
Thank you
thank you
so
for
much,
having
Raven.
me. This has been such a fun show. You've been awesome. And everybody in the comments, so sweet.
You're pretty awesome yourself, Raven. So that was,
Aw.
it's a lot of fun for me too. And we're very, very grateful. And I really feel like we did a good job all together of like raising the frequency because I can feel it. So it's quite beautiful. And we had a couple fairies showing up along the way
I
too.
love
So
that.
like we can't go wrong. And thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and expertise.
Aw.
And I think you've made a few people wanting to start to leave cards for people around the world as they travel too, just as
That's
you do.
awesome.
Oh, thank you, Colin. Thank you. Have you met Colin, by the way?
I don't think
Okay.
Colin.
Colin is
I
from
don't
the
think I
Minorca
have.
Consciousness Group, and he is a medium and a channel and an author too. And he's very perceptive with energy. So it's nice to have him validating that he could feel what we were just speaking of too. So
Aw.
that's
I'll
really
have to connect
nice
with
too.
him.
Yeah. Thank you everybody for joining us here today on Embracing Infinity. Please stay tuned for the Psychic Hour with Kelly Brickle coming up shortly. Spiritually Imperfect with Michael Christopher and Jennifer Lee at 4:30 Pacific. If you'd like to come join us for Sunday spiritual service, that is this Sunday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. in the UK, mediumjenniferrose.com to sign up. Our guest medium is Shannon Rattay, and she's also an angel messenger. And we will be making a donation to the Gabby Petito Foundation. And one more quick reminder that Edify Your Soul magazine, which Colin is also a contributing editor and writer for, is coming out on April 15th. We will be posting that. It's free, and it's going to be in honor of the Gabby Petito Foundation and Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So please stay tuned for that coming up soon, everybody. Please, everybody, live well, love you well, and may all this beautiful energy we've created together be multiplied infinitely to heal our planet and everybody on it, because we want everybody to have love, peace, food, and shelter, especially our children. Thank you, Kelly, for taking good care of us. Our producer, we love you, Kelly, too. And have a beautiful weekend, everybody. Love, light, and blessings to everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Raven. We love
Thank
you.
you.